Hi, my name is Vic. Have you ever wondered if your website or messenger chatbot could be doing more, like getting fresh leads and answering questions for your existing customers and prospects around the clock? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to enter your questions and answers into a Google Sheet to build an AI chat system for your website or messenger chatbot. I'll also be showing you one of the new features of QnAsheet, which uses the latest in generative AI capabilities developed by Google that will make your chatbot even smarter, and it's very easy to set up. I'm going to start with a Google Sheet that already has some questions and answers entered, and this is for one of our customers, King George Sound Safari, a whale watching and scenic tour boat operator in Albany, Western Australia. You can test that for yourself either on their live site or test site, but use the test site unless you want to go on one of their tours, of course. And the test site's located at test.kinggeorgesoundsafari.com.au. On the website, there is a chat icon on the bottom right. And if we click that, we get the crisp chat widget. And this is where you type your questions and get your answers. So we'll come back to that, but for now, let's have a look at the Q&A sheet, which is a normal Google Sheet divided into columns and rows of questions and answers. Each row can be thought about as a particular answer to a question. On each row, you can add different ways in which that question can be asked. For example, this question here, what do I need to bring? And there's just different variations on that. And there's two different answers. And you can see we've got column headings marked question or answer, and you can have as many of those as you want. So there's two different answers it can deliver. And if you have multiple answers, and if that question is selected, one of the answers is randomly chosen, which adds variety to the answers the chatbot gives, making it more conversational. So let's ask a question that we've entered into the sheet, but we won't ask it in the exact way it's entered. QnAsheet allows questions to be asked using naturally spoken language and uses AI to find the one most closely matched. So let's ask, what should I bring? Which is not in one of these questions. So what should I bring? And it comes back with, bring a sense of fun and adventure with a nice picture. So let's ask that same question again. So I'll just copy and paste that. And it brings back the other answer. Fantastic. Okay, so what happens if there's no answer to the question being asked? So what we can do is put a fallback in there. So we can have different answers based on the fallback. And this is a special row. It's marked fallback because of this word fallback in the extra info section. So we can have as many answers to that as we want. Questions don't apply to fallbacks. So we've only got two different answers for a fallback. So let's go back and ask a question like, what's your cancellation policy? Because I know that is not in the sheet. And it's saying, okay, can you ask that another way? Which is one of our fallbacks. Okay, let's ask that again. Okay, same thing. Well, the other answer, the other fallback. So what we can do is we can add that question into the Q&A sheet. If we notice people are typing that and getting the fallback, we can actually go, all right, let's add that into the sheet. Let's go to the bottom of the sheet. We've got row 55. Let's go, what is your cancellation policy? And let's ask it, let's put another way of asking that same question. Let's put, can I cancel my booking? And let's make one of the answers. All tours can be cancelled up to 24 hours before departure. Okay, let's just format it with wrapping so we can see that. And I also know that the cancellation policy is on their website. So let's go to the website and scroll to the bottom and have a look at the terms and conditions. Well, let's just grab that page, the URL, and let's just type this in and say, yes, full details are available on our website, and then put the link. Great. So now we've got two different answers. Now what we need to do is update the AI model. Now we have a tab in here called Update AI. We just go there, we click on it, this kicks off a process to actually update the AI in the background, and we can always monitor the status of that by looking at the logs tab. So we'll just wait for that to be updated. It can take a few seconds up to a few minutes depending on how large your Q&A sheet is, how many questions and answers we've got in there. This one's got about 55 rows, so probably 10-20 seconds or something like that. So we'll just wait for that to be completed. Right. It says there are validation messages. I won't go into that now. It says that the training has been completed in 0.53 minutes and it's created one new question. Okay, let's go back to let's go to the home page. Now let's try that question again. Let's go to the chat and let's scroll to the bottom. What is your cancellation policy now? Fantastic. It's got one of our answers. All tours can be cancelled up to 24 hours. Let's put that in again. And we get the other answer. Fantastic. Well, that's great. Now, I promised I'd show you a new feature we've added to QnAsheet, which uses the power of Google's new generative AI technology called Palm 2, or short for Pathways Language Model version 2. So let's leave that question in the sheet, but change our fallback to use the Gen AI to work the answer out. So let's go back to our fallback row, and I'll delete those two answers, and I'll put in a special tag called chat Palm 2. And what I'll do is I'll just kick off the build of the model. These tags are what we use to do special things in QnAsheet, interface with different systems, like one we've got with the Rezdy booking system. So tour operators who use Rezdy can get live availability on their chat. If you want to find out more information about that, just go to our Aligned Systems website and check out QnAsheet. There's some information in there. Look, I'll talk about the context. So if we don't give it any context, the Gen AI will just make up all sorts of random information. So what we need to do with Gen AI is give it some context. Here I'm talking about Captain Mark. He's the owner of the tour operation located in Albany, Western Australia. He's an experienced skipper, driving boats since his teens. He's got a humorous and friendly tone. And then we talk about the tour and when it runs, the costing of it, just some various information I've copied and pasted from his website and also got out of his brochures. So that's the context. It's going to use that. Google Gen AI is going to use that to formulate an answer. So let's go back and check the logs, make sure that's been updated. Yep, it has. Now let's go back to our chat and we will now type, look, if I ask the same question about the cancellation, it'll get the same answer because we haven't deleted that out of the Q&A sheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask a real question that was asked on the website some time ago. This person was, and it was during the night, they were in the US, and this is the question they asked, and hopefully it'll give me the same answer. I'm arriving on a cruise ship. In the event that the cruise ship does not or cannot dock in Albany, will you refund 100%? And it says, yes, we will refund 100% if the cruise ship does not or cannot dock in Albany. Fantastic. That was not actually that's not in our Google Sheet anywhere. If I search for the word dock, nothing. Not even the word dock's in there. So it's given us this answer. And okay, this is a live demo. I will type a question like, I don't know, that's great. It's not even a question, it's thank you for that. And the Gen AI will come back and go, well, that's actually in the Q&A sheet. So let me ask another question. What else is there to do in Albany? Oh no, that's definitely not in the sheet. Wow, look at that. There are plenty of other things to do in Albany besides taking a whale watching safari with King George. Sound safaris. You can visit the Anzac Centre on Mount Clarence, which tells the story of the 1914 Anzac troops. There's a whole lot of information in there. That's fantastic. Thank you. Now that's actually coming out of our Q&A sheet. So this is where you can combine Q&A sheet by putting in really good answers that you want your chat bot to answer. But if it's not there, you can fall back to the Gen AI and generate an answer for you. And you contain those answers within that context. So look, due to that person who actually came on from the States and asked that question during the night, due to the promptness of the reply and the fact that she liked the answer, King George Sound Safari received several more bookings for an upcoming cruise ship arriving in Albany. And this is how a website can and should work for you 24/7. So one of the other features we've built into Q&A sheet with Gen AI is to actually remember the conversation, remember the history of the conversation so the chat feels very real. And I can finish off with some nicety in saying, that sounds awesome. I'd really like to do that tour. Let's see what it says. Great. Love to have you on board. Just book your ticket online. Again, it made up that. I did not have that in Q&A sheet. But based on the context, it even got the phone number, it even got the web address from the context and formulated a beautiful answer. So let's check if there's any availability. Are you running a tour on the 19th September? So I want to go on the 3-hour winter safari. And there you go. Because Q&A sheet uses dialog flow, it's able to do extraction of data from what was typed. So the question used the date and it actually used that date and then passed it into the integration. So we can do very specific integrations like that using dialog flow. And because of our integration with Rezdy, any tour operator who uses the Rezdy booking system can get similar functionality on their website. So yeah, go to our website, get a free 2-week trial, test it out, ask us any questions, we'd be happy to help. Because Q&A sheet uses Google's trusted dialog flow system, this ensures your customers get the answers you want them to get, and by combining the latest generative AI capabilities, means they can get answers to questions you might not have even thought of. Plus you get to see those answers and you can fine-tune them by adding them back into Q&A sheet as they come up. We have more features being released soon, so subscribe to our YouTube channel or click on the chat on our website and enter your email and we'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Cheers.